There is a moment every night when your body quietly begs you to stop. Your eyelids feel heavy, your thoughts slow down, your jaw relaxes, and your body sends little signals that say, it's time to lie down, turn off the lights, and disappear into sleep for a while. But instead of listening, you push that moment away. You sit up a bit straighter, unlock your phone, open another video, answer another message, start another episode, finish another level. You tell yourself, just 10 more minutes, knowing deep down that you almost never mean it. The hours slide past while you're half aware. And then suddenly you glance at the clock and see a time that makes your heart drop. 2 a.m. You're in, maybe even later. You know you have to wake up early. You know tomorrow will be rough. You feel a wave of regret, and yet a part of you has done this so many times that it feels normal, like part of your personality. You joke about being a night owl. You call yourself a no-sleep soldier. You say things like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, and other lines the world has romanticized. But your body isn't laughing. It is slowly paying the price for every hour you steal from it. Sleep is not a luxury that you give yourself when you have time. It is a basic biological need, as fundamental as food and water. When you sleep, important processes happen that simply do not occur when you are awake. Your brain cleans out waste, sorts memories, balances chemicals, and resets emotional circuits. Your muscles repair microscopic damage from daily use. Hormones that control hunger, stress, growth, and repair are released in precise patterns. Your immune system scans your body for problems and prepares its defenses. Every night you give yourself proper sleep, you are giving your body a chance to fix, clean, sort, and strengthen everything it can. Every night you cut that sleep short, you interrupt those processes. The first time you do it, nothing dramatic happens. Maybe you just feel a bit heavy the next day, a bit sleepy, a bit grumpy. But humans are experts at getting used to things, and that's where the danger lives. You can get used to feeling tired. You can get used to yawning all day. You can get used to poor concentration and slow thinking. You can get used to hating mornings and feeling half alive. Just because you are used to it doesn't mean it's harmless. That's the trap of too little sleep every night. It doesn't knock you down in one day. It slowly drains you. Imagine you have a battery inside you that is meant to be fully recharged every night. Deep, uninterrupted sleep fills it. When you consistently sleep only a few hours, you never let that battery reach full charge. Instead of starting each day at 100%, you start at 70, then 60, then 50. Your brain and body do their best with what they have, but there's never quite enough energy to go around. So your mind feels foggy when you wake up. You reach for caffeine before you reach for water. You scroll your phone in bed because you don't feel ready to face the day. You move slower than you would if you had slept properly, and even small tasks feel big. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're just running on low power all the time as the lack of sleep becomes a pattern. Begin to notice changes in your mood. When you don't sleep enough, your brain's ability to regulate emotions is reduced. Suddenly, little things feel like major problems. Someone talks to you in a slightly sharp tone, and you feel waves of anger. A small inconvenience at work or school makes you want to give up on everything. You might feel like crying over issues that normally wouldn't touch you. Your fuse becomes shorter. You snap at people you care about. You apologize later and say you're just tired, but the damage to your relationships slowly adds up. The quiet truth is that lack of sleep makes your emotional brain louder and your logical brain quieter. You become more sensitive to negativity and less able to calm yourself down. It's not drama. It's chemistry. Your focus and memory suffer as well. You might have noticed that on days after very little sleep, simple things slip your mind. You forget where you put your keys. You open a tab on your computer and immediately forget why. You reread the same paragraph multiple times and still don't absorb the information. Your brain feels like it's running through mud. This is because sleep plays a key role in turning what you see, hear, and learn during the day into solid memories. Without enough sleep, your ability to learn new things and remember them later is reduced. You may sit in class or meetings physically present, but mentally absent. You may try to study or work longer to catch up, staying up late again. But without sleep, your brain simply cannot do its best work. The quantity of hours you study doesn't matter much if your brain is too tired to build the connections it needs. On top of all this, your physical health starts to shift. When you regularly sleep too little, your appetite hormones can become unbalanced. The one that tells you you're hungry increases, and the one that signals fullness decreases. As a result, you feel hungrier during the day, especially for high-calorie, sugary, and fatty foods. You may find yourself reaching for snacks more often, especially late at night or in the afternoon when your energy drops. Over time, this pattern can contribute to weight gain, especially around the gut. But weight is only one piece of the puzzle. Blood sugar can become harder to control when you are chronically sleep-deprived, even if you don't change your diet much. Your body becomes less efficient at handling glucose, and your risk of problems with blood sugar regulation climbs. Your blood pressure may also increase, and your heart has to work harder over time. Then comes your immune system, silently affected by the hours you don't spend asleep. Sleep is deeply connected to how well your body fights off infections. People who consistently sleep too little are more likely to catch colds, feel run down, and take longer to recover when they get sick. You might notice that you are the one who always seems to catch whatever is going around, that a small flu wipes you out more than it should, or that you constantly feel a little under the weather. Again, you might tell yourself, this is just your weak immunity. But in reality, your immune system is working with less support than it needs. It's trying to defend you while you keep cutting its rest and repair time in half. There is also the cruel way that sleep loss impacts your appearance. It's not just about dark circles under your eyes, though those can become permanent guests when you sleep too little every night. Your skin may look dull and dry. Fine lines show up earlier. Your face can swell slightly from fluid imbalances and poor circulation. You look in the mirror and feel older than your age. You try to hide it with makeup, good lighting, filters. But when you wipe everything off, the truth is there. A face that has not been allowed to rest. It may not sound like the most serious effect compared to heart or brain health, but how you feel about your appearance affects your confidence, your social life, and the way you show up in the world. When you are always exhausted, you carry that on your face and in your posture. One of the most dangerous side effects of chronic sleep deprivation is how it affects your ability to stay safe. When your brain is tired, your reaction time slows. Your judgment becomes less reliable. Tasks that require focus, like driving, operating machinery, or even crossing a busy street, become more risky. There are countless stories of accidents that happen not because someone was drunk or reckless, but because they were simply too tired. Micro-sleep-stinny moments where your brain switches off for a second or two without your permission can occur during long, sleepy tasks like late-night driving or staring at a screen. You may not even realize they are happening. All it takes is one of those tiny blackouts at the wrong time for something irreversible to happen. And yet, despite all this, the world often celebrates not sleeping. You see influencers bragging about working until sunrise. Entrepreneurs saying real winners only sleep a few hours. Students laughing about pulling all-nighters before exams. You see memes about Team No Sleep and think it's cool to be exhausted. You might feel guilty for wanting more sleep, like it means you're not ambitious or strong enough. But here's the truth. In the long run, consistently stealing sleep from your body doesn't make you strong. It makes you fragile. It doesn't make you more productive. It makes you slower, more likely to make mistakes, and less creative. It doesn't give you more life. It quietly takes life from you. One tired day at a time. The scary part is that you may not even remember what it feels like to be truly rested. If you've been sleeping too little for months or years, you might think your current level of energy and focus is normal. You've forgotten the feeling of waking up without an alarm and not feeling like you've been hit by a truck. You've forgotten what it's like to get through a day without needing caffeine or sugar to push you forward. You've forgotten how light your body can feel when it's not dragging a permanent sleep debt behind it. That's why so many people resist changing their sleep habits. They think, I'm fine, I'm functioning, not knowing that their definition of fine is far below what their body is capable of. At the same time, there is another side to the story. Some people don't sleep enough not because they want to grind and hustle, but because their mind won't let them. Stress, anxiety, overthinking, and constant digital stimulation keep them trapped in their own heads at night. You lie down, turn off the lights, and instead of drifting into sleep, your brain shows you every worry, every embarrassing moment, every fear about the future. You check your phone to distract yourself, and the light resets your sleep signals once again. Hours pass. Maybe you finally fall asleep out of pure exhaustion, only to wake up feeling like you never truly rested. In this case, sleeping too little is not just a choice, but a symptom of deeper problems in how you handle stress, boundaries, and your relationship with technology. Still, your body feels the same consequences. Whether the lack of sleep is intentional or not, there is a gentle but powerful reality underneath all this. Sleep is not your enemy. It is not stealing time from your dreams and goals. It is the quiet partner that makes those dreams physically possible. When you consistently sleep enough, you are not being lazy. You are building a stable base from which real effort can be sustainable. You are giving your brain the tools it needs to think clearly, learn fast, and stay emotionally balanced. You are giving your heart and immune system the support they need to protect you. You are giving your future self a better body and mind to live in, changing a habit of sleeping. Too little every night doesn't start with strict rules. It starts with respect. Respect for the fact that you are not a machine. Respect for the idea that your body needs a certain amount of time each night, where you disappear from the world and let your systems repair themselves. It might feel like sleep is wasted time when you could be studying, working, or watching something. But ask yourself honestly, how much of your extra awake time is truly productive or meaningful? How much of it is just you staring at a screen, too tired to do anything real, while your body silently begs for rest? The first step may be as simple as deciding that your sleep time will not always be the thing you sacrifice when life gets busy. Many people protect their phones more than they protect their sleep. They plug their devices in before they plug themselves into rest. What if you flipped that? What if you started seeing your bedtime as an appointment with your health that you're not allowed to cancel for trivial reasons? That doesn't mean you will never stay up late again. Life will always have special nights, emergencies, deadlines, but those should be the exception, not the shape of your entire week. Even small improvements can bring noticeable changes. Going to bed a little earlier, dimming screens before sleep, allowing your mind to slow down instead of cramming stimulation into every minute of your night. These are not dramatic actions, but they change the message your body receives. The message shifts from, "We are always in fight mode, always on alert, always pushing," to "Sometimes we rest. Sometimes we heal, sometimes we recharge." As that message becomes consistent, your sleep deepens. You wake up feeling just slightly better. That slight improvement can give you the energy to make other positive changes, like moving more, eating better, and managing stress in healthier ways. Those changes then feed back into even better sleep. Your life starts to spiral upward instead of downward. So what really happens if you sleep too little every night? You live in a fog and call it normal. You carry double stress and call it personality. You run on emergency energy and call it ambition. You slowly trade your clarity, your mood, your health, and your future for a few extra tired hours each day that you barely remember. But what happens if you decide, starting tonight, that your sleep matters? You begin to reclaim parts of your life you didn't even realize you had lost. You rediscover what it feels like to wake up with real energy, to think clearly, to feel emotions without being controlled by them, to have a body that feels like an ally instead of a burden. You begin to understand that taking care of yourself at night is not selfish. It is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect you can practice. The version of you who sleeps enough is not a different person living in some fantasy universe. That version is already inside you, waiting behind a few simple but consistent choices. Tonight, when your body whispers that it's time to rest, you can choose to ignore it again, to drown it in noise and light, to keep borrowing energy from a tomorrow that is already tired. Or you can choose to listen, to put the phone away, to let your eyes close, and to trust that while you sleep, your body is working for you, building the strength you will need for everything you want to do when the sun rises.